Oh, yeah. First partner forward, Atlanta Wild versus the Palm Beach Breaker, the Mr. Olympia Grid League season finale. Let's get it. This is Joshua Newell for the Palm Beach Breakers and Griffin Raleigh for the Atlanta Wild. Once again, if you're just joining us, this match is worth double the points because of the effects of Hurricane Milton. Unfortunately, a lot of people were not able to show up for this particular matchup. We are in the beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada at the Mr. Olympia Fitness Expo. That was a little fault for the Breakers there. They needed to make sure their partner was in the correct hash box. As we saw in that last matchup, we did have that issue. So in case you're just joining us, let's say, for example, the Wild win by 5 points. They would actually win by a total of 10 points. Meanwhile, the Breakers would actually get 10 points taken off of their point differential. Whoever has the most points at the end of the regular season, those top 4 teams will go to the playoffs to fight for their spot at the championship.
And I love about the Atlanta Wild, you see them right, I love seeing big guys put in that groundwork. It's nothing like it. It's a lot of weight you got to get up and off that ground and over that burpee bar, as you can see. So you can see the ATL Wild, they're really putting in work now.
Absolutely. The Wild have, actually these two particular players, in Griffin Raleigh and Amanda Fisher have actually had some injuries this season, but they are absolutely killer. They probably do almost every single partner forward for the Wild. Meanwhile, this is Evan Newman for the Palm Beach Breakers and Shane Newell. These are actually rookies this year. Very seriously skilled. I'm actually very surprised at their outcome. They've been serious players throughout these matches for them throughout the season.
If you can hear these dumbbells hitting this floor in here at the Las Vegas Convention Center, it sounds like thunder cracking throughout here.
Oh, my feet are shaking.
Man, and the weight gets heavier as you get down in the quadrant. So we're going to see how this affects the bodies of these athletes.
Absolutely. It looks like the Atlanta Wild have a slight lead over the Breakers here. Very comfortable. I can't count how many partner forwards the Atlanta Wild have lost since Fisher and Raleigh were joining the team last season. But I don't think it's very many, if at all. So they pretty much have this one in the bag. They have a comfortable lead. They're going to switch out here. That's Blake Kidder and Sydney Wilson. Another great matchup here. Blake Kidder is welcoming himself back to the grid this season. He was actually gone last season, just to spend some more time with his family. He actually lives in Texas, so he has to be flown out. He was actually with the Sharks, but he re-signed with the Wild as he did play with them for the last few seasons before. This is Joshua Newell subbing in for the Palm Beach Breakers with Vita Vetterkind.
One thing I'm paying attention to is, as we saw, these weights get heavier as they get down the quadrant. You can see the bodies reacting. You can hear the thunder cracking. Thor's hammer is in the building. And here they are again going on to the next weight class.
Absolutely. I really like that transition that was done here by the Breakers, where Vita just kind of laid down on the ground and let Joshua jump over her here. So
nice strategy there. Yep.
Yeah, I really liked it. So you can see Vita in the hash box as Joshua completes those. Once again, bigger dudes doing those bigger floor movements is really fun to see sometimes. Sydney Wilson absolutely crushing those double presses over there for the Wild. Kidder making sure that Sydney's in the right hash box so he could do his reps. They're not really rushing too much as they know that they have a comfortable lead here. And it looks like the Atlanta Wild are going to take that first partner forward.
Absolutely. Is that weights he has on his ankles, number 52, Newell?
I think those are knee sleeves that are just rolled down. I think that's what all the cool kids are doing right now.
Oh, I thought it was Goku out there walking around with the weighted ankle boots. You know what I mean?
That would be sick.
Isn't that something?
Diabolical even.
Shout out to the Atlanta Wild for that big win in that match there.
Yeah, and here comes the Palm Beach Breakers coming to support their team. Everybody, they were in a lot of the areas that were affected during Hurricane Milton. So they're coming to support their team even though they lost that particular race. But it's just fun to see them out here doing their thing. Everybody's over here trying their best, having a good time, so to speak. So the Atlanta Wild are going to take that. And since the Breakers did finish within the time cap, it looks like they will get that 1 point unofficially. But in the meantime, while we set up for that mirror race, I'm here with my friend Rebecca Rouse from the Tampa Bay Brigade. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Awesome. Thank you. So Rebecca's part of the Tampa Bay Brigade. She just played with the super team, the Fort Orlampa Lacegades.
Yes,
something like that. So how was that experience for you?
It was really cool. It was an honor to be able to represent my team for first and foremost. That's what I came here to do. And it was also really cool to be able to integrate. And I think what I said earlier is if you took all of us and put us in the same jersey, I don't think anybody would have known that we all just met this morning and this is our first time playing together. So I think it all came together, and I think it's a testament to the leadership of these teams and the cohesion and just teamwork and team forward mindset that we all have as individual teams, and to see it all come together on the grid was really cool.
I love that. It was really fun to see you guys work together and everybody kind of know their place and recognize other people's strength and kind of let them shine where they needed to. It looked like everybody was really comfortable with each other. I know it must have been some kind of frustrating coming all the way out here to Vegas and not being able to play with your team. Were you able to speak to any of your team that were affected or anything like that?
Yeah, we have a group chat that has been very active throughout this entire time, and it's just been nothing but support. Obviously, everyone's really bummed, myself included, that the whole team can't be here, and the circumstances are truly unfortunate, and nobody could control it, obviously, but they've all been nothing but supportive to the two of us that are here, and although they are obviously not happy to be watching from home and not here, they have been rocks and just awesome people to work with and to have in my corner.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Are you guys planning on fighting for that spot in the playoffs in Fort Lauderdale in November?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what we came here to do. We came here to win.
I like it. So going into tomorrow, is there anything that you're really looking forward to doing?
Ladder's my favorite.
Ladder.
Being a weightlifter, as you are as well, I think just that's my area where I get to shine, and I feel most confident going into that. I'm excited. I'm not sure if I'll be doing partner forward. That was the original plan, but if I don't know what the team is going to do now with the super team, so I was going to do quad 3 and 4. We'll see what happens. I'm ready for it. I think I might be ending up in triad, which was not originally the plan, but I'm here to play. I'm here to be here for the team. Whatever team needs, that's what I'm going to do.
Amazing. It was really fun to watch you on that ladder, by the way. That fourth quadrant was insane.
Thank you. That's
great,
what I love.
Yeah, great job today. Thank you so much for chatting with me.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Let's go ahead and look forward to that mirror.
The second race of every match always features a barbell element. A male and a female barbell are placed in the first quadrant. Upon the start of the race, both are picked up by the team in any fashion by the 3 men and 3 women allowed in the race at any given time. Once the barbell leaves the ground, it may not touch the ground again until all reps are complete. If it does, the entire team must return to the start line before continuing. A set number of reps must be completed by both genders in each quadrant before the team can move on. Non-lifting players will act as the human rack to support the barbells as the team moves from quadrant to quadrant and switches performing players in the process as needed. Substitutions may happen at any time. Time stops when all reps are complete and the last player crosses the finish line. This strength-focused race has the most players on the grid at the same time and requires effective planning and practice to be executed well through coordination amongst players. Remember, don't drop the barbell in the mirror race.
And we are back. Welcome back, party people. Let's go ahead and see what we have to look forward to this particular mirror. Or I could just tell you, we got 32 hang squat cleans. That's going to be 8 reps in every single quadrant. For the men, it's going to be 205 pounds. And for the women, it's going to be 140 pounds.
Oh, yeah, this is straight no chaser. What you see is what you get. They got to get that weight up and over their heads. And they got to make sure that they don't drop those barbells on the ground or it will not count.
That's right. If the barbell drops on the ground, they would have to go all the way back to the start line and hit the start line before coming back to the bar.
Yes.
Once again, we have the Atlanta Wild versus the Palm Beach Breakers here. That's going to be Amanda Fisher for the ladies on the Wild, and that's Shay Newell for the Breakers. We got some great talent here today on both sides. Once again, this matchup in particular is worth double the amount of points towards that point differential, which will determine who goes to the playoffs at the end of the regular season. We have a brand new season sign over here in this gentleman for the Breakers. That's Ari Swan. I believe her last match was her first with the Palm Beach Breakers. Meanwhile, for the Wild, that's Sydney Wilson and Tom Soroka. Once again, I was telling you, Tom Soroka's mobility has gotten significantly better as the season progresses. It's just fun to see somebody train and the work really pay off.
Oh, yeah, especially a big man like that, man. You see him progress like that, it's not easy. So, yeah, shout out to him.
Yep, we got Gabby Moster for the Palm Beach Breakers over here, and that's Justin Lanes. If that last name is familiar, that's because that's Breezy Lanes from the Southwest Florida Sharks' husband. Oh no!
Oh
He
no!
dropped the bar!
No!
Oh, dang it.
Yeah.
It looks like they're going to have to come back, do that 4-point touch, and come back. At least everybody kind of knew what to do for this. There's still
Exactly.
time for them to finish under that time cap. Last time that happened with the Venom, they didn't necessarily know what to do because it was their first time watching it. That's Sydney Wilson on another quadrant over here. And it looks,
they almost dropped it again.
Yep, and it looks like the Wild are able to finish within the time cap. Not the best communication from this Breakers team so far, but not too bad of a showing for them, considering how many rookies and last-minute changes they need to make because of the hurricane.
Yeah, it's hard to be in sync when you're new like that. These transitions from quadrant to quadrant in this mirror is very important. So you can see it kind of threw them off a little bit, but they're going to try to finish strong and get some points out of this.
Yep, and it looks like, unfortunately, the Breakers did not finish under the time cap, so they will not be getting any credit for this mirror race.
And this is what gets you pissed off a little bit, Cassie, because you do all that work on the grid and you're trying to work your hardest and you just miss out on getting points. Man, you just got to regroup and get ready for the next match.
100%. I'm sure it definitely hurts. It's painful, you know. You work so hard, and there's a new plan that you have to have, especially when it comes to the hurricane and things that are beyond your control. So just shout out to them for trying their best and doing what they can out here today.
Absolutely. Want to give love and prayers and just a lot of good synergy to all the athletes that came out here, man. We know some couldn't make it, but listen, they're out here, they're happy, and they're performing at the highest level. And it's just a good way to just have some good camaraderie and just to bring some love and light into your life. You know, hurricanes is something hard to deal with, so we're just going to give a lot of good energy to these athletes out here today.
Absolutely. They traveled halfway across the country to bring that heat, and that's exactly what they're going to do right now. Right now, unofficially, the score is going to be 1 point for the Breakers, 4 points for the Atlanta Wild. Let's go ahead and look forward to that next race.
The only race in the match that is chosen by the teams. There are 2 ringer point races in every match, one picked by each team from a set list of races determined prior to the season. Each ringer point race generally features 1 player, and there is a male and female version of some races depending on the race requirements. The head coach decides whether a male or female will perform the race based on what they feel is the best choice from their roster. There is a catch. A player may only be chosen once for a ringer point in a given season. This resets in the playoffs. This short and intense race allows teams to influence their opponent's performance both in-match and season-wide. Remember, choose your race wisely in the ringer point race.
And we are back. We're doing that ringer point race. We're starting off with back handsprings. And what just happened?
Well, they just put out, I think it's the Atlanta Wild put out their bonus flag. Was it a bonus, or was it the Breakers? The Breakers pulled out their bonus flag, so they're just trying to annihilate the Wild right now. Double up on all these points. Points are doubled up, so this is a very important. Let's see if they can get this bonus.
Yeah, let me set the stakes for you right now. This is Sophia Davenport. She's played before versus Jimmy McBride. This is her very first match. The Wild just found her yesterday and just signed her on the spot because nobody else could do the back handsprings. So let's see who can do these the fastest. Oh, Jimmy looks pretty darn fast.
Look at this.
Look, she finished first. It's going to come down to the sprint. 4-point touch.
Who has the fastest 40? Who has the fastest 40?
Make it.
4-4-40, baby.
Oh! And it looks like Sophia Davenport was able to finish first by milliseconds unofficially.
So now listen, that bonus flag came in handy for the Breakers. They knew it. They came, they saw, they conquered. What a win for the Breakers right there.
Absolutely. They literally signed Jimmy just for this race, but the Breakers knew they had it in the bag. Considering that they just found Jimmy like literally off the street, so to speak, yesterday is absolutely ridiculous. She just smoked that. She knew exactly what to do, exactly when to stop. It just unfortunately came down to the sprint for her. But good for the breakers for getting those points for the bonus flag. Makes it a little bit more even. And once again, for the ringer points, you have to finish within 20% of the other people's time. So I'm sure that they got the credit for that one. It was very, very close.
Absolutely. Now, of all the extreme bodyweight exercises and all the strength exercises being done out here, all these elements, don't forget about the 40. I call it a 40. It's not really a 40-yard dash out here, but, you know, I love that type of thing. You got to have some speed out here, too.
Oh, yeah. You can't play around. You got to do everything. You got to do it fast. Even if you're dizzy after those back handsprings, you better start running somewhere. Alrighty, so we're looking forward to that second ringer. Just in case you're joining us for the first time today, they just announced the breakers win, of course.
Nice.
Just in case you're joining us for the first time today, we are doing double the ringer point. So it's back-to-back ringers, and we will also have back-to-back ringers after the ladder as well. So right now we're going into those dumbbell burpee over boxes. That's going to be Justin Lanes, Breezy Lane's husband, for the Palm Beach Breakers, his very first grid match ever, and Blake Kidder for the Atlanta Wild. So this is going to be a really good one.
And of course, the ringer usually tends to be one of the most exciting races here for Grid League. They're going to usually put your best athletes out for the ringer, so we're going to see how well they perform.
Oh, we sure are. So Blake Kidder, I haven't seen him in a ringer point actually in a while, but it's definitely going to be fun to watch him do the burpees over box. When I met Blake Kidder, he was actually almost just specifically a strength specialist, but over the years, it looks like he's become more of a utility player, and a very good one at that. He can kind of do everything. And when I was talking to him about that, he said that he was working on that during the offseason as well. Justin Lanes, honestly, I don't know a whole bunch about him, but from what I've seen here today, he's very strong. He was able to go pretty fast in the mirror. So it's just about the speed. We saw Nick Shappy during the Valor Fitness one. He was the one that was basically jumping with the dumbbells in his hand. You remember that?
I remember.
Everybody remembers that. It was absolutely wild. So we're going to see if any of these players try to utilize that same strategy here today.
Yeah, the athletes that you see out here on this grid are simply spectacular. I always said, you're going to hear me say it, you won't see this anywhere else in the world. This is just a gumbo of some of the top movements that you could ever see, and it's just exciting to watch here at United Grid League.
I like that, a gumbo, a paella,
yes.
Something like that.
Spicy.
Woo! All right, once again, these matchups are worth double the points at the end towards that point differential. Right now, in case you're wondering, the Breakers are at -9 for that point differential, while the Wild are +8. So we're gonna see how that changes at the end of this matchup. Blake Kidder versus Justin Lanes, let's see it. Dumbbell burpees over box. Let's see if they try to jump it. Nope, they're both stepping over. I'd say that's the smart way. There's a lot of these here. Hands up for both of the players. Blake Kidder, 2 reps in the air, I believe. 1 rep remaining for Blake Kidder, 2 for Justin Lanes, and Blake Kidder is going to sprint to the finish line. Justin Lanes still has to sprint to try to finish within 20%. Easy win for Blake Kidder of the Atlanta Wild. I'm sure the referees are going to tabulate those scores to see if he gets credit for that. That's an amazing effort from this rookie who's never played before.
Yeah, ATL is looking like a well-oiled machine out there. They're looking confident. But then also the Breakers as well. You know, they're not far behind, still stacking those points. Hey, we're going to see what happens at the end of everything. Great showing by both teams.
Yes, definitely. These are 2 teams that I would say they've always been just on the cusp of having their cake, so to speak. So they've always been just right there, waiting for their moment. So the Atlanta Wild actually had their chance for the championship when they had their Gainesville Wild team. This is almost a brand new team that we've seen develop over the last 2 years, and this is an entire team of rookies basically from the Palm Beach Breakers. So this is a very exciting matchup.
Yes, and you know, both teams are hungry out here. You know what we say, Cassie, if you're hungry, you got to finish your breakfast, baby.
You got to finish your breakfast.
Absolutely.
All right, friends, let's go ahead and see what we can look forward to during those Echo races.
Is made up of 4 stations of elements that each must be completed before moving on in the race. 1 male and 1 female are allowed on the grid at any given time, but only 1 player at a time can perform reps. Substitutions may happen at any time. Once the Echo race is complete, get ready, because the same race will be repeated 45 seconds later. This race is about managing fatigue with your best players. and leveraging roster depth to keep performance at a max pace through the second Echo. Remember, get ready to do it again in the Echo race.
How long have you been competing in grid?
This is my rookie season.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You excited?
I'm nervous. Probably most nervous about like just figuring out how grid works. Grid's a little different than CrossFit moves. So it's been little things like getting used to like, hey, don't drop the bar on your last rep because you have to pass it off to somebody, like stuff like that. I think it's little things like that that I'm most nervous about.
All right, you guys ready? We'll be outside, outside. All right, so first thing, who's a rookie? Okay, who knows how to run grid? Okay, so you rookies, we need to learn every race. I don't care if you're in it, I don't care if you're not even playing today or at all. You need to learn every race, okay? The way you see it is you're an athlete, right? You have this sport, okay? Who's played sports, team sports before? Okay, football, soccer, baseball, whatever it is, basketball, but you knew the plays in a sense. Practice is to understand each race, whether you're doing it or you're not doing it. Because guess what? You might do it. We might need you in there. Echo and Triad are going to probably be the hardest races, and we need everybody to be on those. And even partner forward, we might need those. We might need people to do those things. Watch them, okay? Got two reps, 4 reps, 4 reps. 3, 2, 1, race! 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Watch the transition. 1, 2. 4 reps. 1, all the way up. 2, 3, 4. Guys first. Guys first. 1, 2. Extension. 3, 4. Notice the bar behind. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then they run out.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right to the quadrant. I need it to the end.
Okay?
Find out.
So that was very fast, right? It's a very fast-paced movement.
Peachy athletic shorts, guys. Just saying. Looking peachy.
And the peaches are great. They're really stretchy. They're soft.
I like the fit, I like the fabric, it makes me just feel more comfortable while I'm working out. I don't have to worry about things coming out.
Love training in these shorts, love competing in the shorts. They stay put, got a really nice thick waistband.
They definitely pass the squat test and the booty test. They're really comfortable. Like I could wear them out and I could wear them on the floor.
Go get yourself some.
All right, we're back with the Echo. We're gonna do it 2 times. It's a 150-pound heavy D-ball over yoke. It's gonna be a higher height for the men than the women, then followed by toes to bar, followed by double touch into a triple touch, followed by toes to ring, back up rises, and a barbell complex for the men, a clean and 2 thrusters, women a clean and 2 shoulder to overhead. And we'll call out those weights as we go through it. And here we go, Palm Beach Breakers versus the Atlanta Wild. That's Yana Babbitt and Tom Soroka for the Wild. He just grabs the D-ball and taps it on the ground before they go over. I really like that strategy. It's very controlled, and it already put them one whole entire rep ahead of Josh Newell and Shane Newell. That's our married couple for the Breakers over there.
And if you can see, this reminds you of the old strongman competition with the Atlas Stone, putting it over a specified height into a pillar. This is just added elements here at Gridley.
Oh yeah, and that's definitely Tom Soroka's bag right there. He's all about all those strongman movements, so he's absolutely crushing it there. Joshua Newell just 2 reps behind at Atlanta Wild already starting on that barbell complex. Once again, that's a toe to bar, followed by a double touch, followed by a triple touch. All right, so you got to make sure that you do every single part correctly. If you fall, even if you miss the toe on that triple touch, you have to do it all over again. So in case you didn't know, it's a toe to bar, followed by a toe to chest to bar, followed by a toe to chest to bar muscle up. So if you mess up any part of that, you have to redo all of them. When I did see the Palm Beach Breakers trying out this echo, this complex here, they were faulting out just a little bit, unable to necessarily get the right spot of their toe to touch the bar. So it looks like there's already a hand in the air for the Atlanta Wild. That's Tyler Billington and Amanda Fisher for the Atlanta Wild. Sophia Davenport for the Breakers with Jonathan Restrepo.
And what I'm most interested in, Cassie, is in our previous match with the Super Team and the Palms, they had to redo this echo 3 times. So we're hoping that we don't have to do this time around because it's very taxing on the body, but we're gonna see what happens, which team finishes first.
Very true. Then we got RJ Hibbert already on those, working on those toe to ring backup rises, utilizing that strategy that we've seen quite a bit here where he just kind of drops himself backwards, hit his toes on the ring before doing that backup rise there. Sophia Davenport still trying her best to do that rep for the Palm Beach Breakers. They looks like they're faulting out a lot on those last 2 reps here. If I'm the Wild, I'd say it's pretty safe for this echo, not tire myself out too much. Sydney Wilson already on that barbell complex. Once again, for the females, it's going to be a clean and 2 shoulder to overheads, excuse me. And for the males, a clean and 2 thrusters. The weight will be 175 pounds for both.
Yeah, the Atlanta Wild, or for lack of a better word, are going wild right now. They're locked in, and as you can see right here with the Breakers, they're having a little bit trouble with the body weight exercises. It's no joke, and they're just now getting to the ring. So a little bit of a lead there for the Wild. Let's see if the Breakers can catch up.
That's right, and I've been waiting to see Reese Lyons hit this all day. Reese Lyons is actually a really slept on bodyweight specialist, if I do say so myself. David McKellar making very lightweight of that for the Atlanta Wild, and that is an easy win for the Atlanta Wild over there. All right, very easy win for that first echo. Reese Lyons doing a great job on those toe to ring backup rises. They just got stuck on that complex, but they're gonna see if they could strategize, I'm sure, for the next one. There's over a minute to finish off all these barbell reps. Vita Vetterkind is pretty strong. Evan Newman helping her out there.
Yes, and the Atlanta Wild, they're finished with their match so far. But again, right after this particular race, 45 seconds afterward, they will be doing it again. Why? Because it is a echo.
Echo, echo, echo. Yep, we're gonna do it all over again. Not a whole lot to strategize or pick out new things to do or change. So hopefully the Breakers are kind of arranging that, seeing if they could finish in a shorter time and make it a little bit more competitive against the Wild here. 2 reps to go, about 37 seconds left on the clock. Vita Vetterkind almost done. She's gonna finish up those last few reps. 2 shoulder to overheads, 1, and let's get that last one, 2. And the Breakers are gonna finish within the time cap, so they will get 1 point for that. That one did take Vita out just a bit. She did the brunt of that one. Hopefully she gets enough rest before she goes into that next echo race. There's only 45 seconds of rest, 35 seconds on the clock as of now, so we'll see.
Yeah, I'm looking for the Breakers to bring a little bit more energy off the bench, you know, a little bit more camaraderie. I know they're a little bit behind when it comes to the Atlanta Wild, but let's turn the wick up, turn the fire up, let's heat the grid up a little bit more for the Breakers.
Oh yeah, they gotta light that fire.
Yep.
The Atlanta Wild is ready to bring it. I'd say that strategy at the beginning with the D-ball over yoke that Tom Sirocco is utilizing was definitely very helpful in getting that lead.
Absolutely. And we're getting ready to get it on again. Echo.
All right, this time it's going to be Joshua Newell, and that is Gabby Moster for the Palm Beach Breakers. Once again, that is Yana Babbitt and our friend Tom Soroka.
And I'm looking at the commissioner. He's trying to get a signal over to the Atlanta Wild side. I don't know what's going on exactly yet, but something is not quite on point. And we're going to figure it out, folks. Just give us a moment here as they continue with this particular element.
Oh, it looks like Dan Jackson was standing on the grid, and then it's a rule that you're not supposed to be standing on the grid while your team is competing. So he was just checking them over there. Commissioner was just making sure that he knew, like, hey, bud, you better step your feet off of there.
Yeah, off the grid, please.
Here we have Carrie Billington already starting that, toe to bar double touch to triple touch, followed by Bethany Jackson. Bethany Jackson is always fun to watch. She always has her toes pointed and such. Very pretty movement from her. I like the way that she does her gymnastics. And it looks like they put Reese Lyons in for the Palm Beach Breakers to be able to kind of do better. It looks like the chief ref is faulting him out for not having his toes touch the bar. It looks like he's really tall, and it's hard for him to get like his actual toe to touch the bar. Just his foot was touching the bar, which of course we know we need that toe part of your shoe to touch it.
Absolutely.
Carrie Billington, much easier for her. She's doing it over there. And this is Dakota Shackleton. All right, this is his first grid match ever as well for the Palm Beach Breakers. They were able to pick him up because they needed more players. A lot of their players were affected by Hurricane Milton. The team is hyping him up, able to get a little bit closer than they were last time. Jonathan Restrepo coming to help out too. Meanwhile, on the wild side, that's Amanda Fisher being joined by Tyler Billington. He's sure that she has those, and Tyler Billington is starting on those rings.
Absolutely. And while we're in the middle of this particular match, we want to send love and light to all of the athletes that couldn't make it, that are back home in Tampa and the surrounding areas. We know that you're watching and tapped in, and we're going to do our best to put our best foot forward for you.
That's right, Jonathan Restrepo trying his best to finish off those last two reps. He faulted out. It looks like he wasn't touching his chest. Keeps on faulting out. Bethany Jackson seeing if she can make up some time here. They really want to make sure that they catch up here. Honestly, if I was the Wild, I would have thrown that bonus flag at the end of that echo. It was such a comfortable lead for them. They were really struggling on this this gymnastics complex of toes to bar, double touch, triple touch, and the Atlanta Wild are already on the barbell while the Palm Beach Breakers haven't even started their rings yet.
Yeah, the Atlanta Wild look like they are a proven squad. They look like they have the experience. They know what they're doing. The strategy is on point, and they are just taking their time, getting through it, getting to these points.
That's right, Reese Lyons making light of this, these rings, doing really well on those. Vita Vetterkind trying to see if she can make up some time here. She did the brunt of the barbell complex last time we saw her during that first echo. Here comes Evan Newman. I'm sure she's gonna make him do a lot of the reps now after she's finished with this one. Griffin Raleigh and Amanda Fisher finishing off for the Atlanta Wild. Very easy win for them here.
Yeah, the Breakers have some catching up to do. The Wild are on a tear right now. 3 wins in a row, I think it is. I think the Breakers did get that bonus flag, but if the Wild happen to throw it out, it's going to get very interesting.
That's right. There are 4 reps left of this barbell complex for the Palm Beach Breakers with 50 seconds left on the clock. As long as they can finish within that time, they will still get credit for this race. And of course, every point counts because everything is worth double for this match. So it's really important that even if they lose something, they want to get as many points as possible to remain as close as possible, close that differential gap. Last rep here for the Palm Beach Breakers, and they are going to finish within the time cap. Great work from both teams. The Palm Beach Breakers coming to meet their teammates at the end. They knew going into this was going to be a very difficult race against the Atlanta Wild, but they were able to pull it out and finish within the time cap, keeping those smiles on their faces, and it's a great time to watch. All right, friends, and I am here with a new partner. I'm here with a buttery bro.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. We're so excited to have you. So tell me a little bit about how you found Grid League and what made you want to watch it.
Ooh, so I have a long history with Grid League, even though this is the very first match I've been to. I've never seen it live. But when it was first started, I think in 2014 or 13, the guy who started, his name was Tony Budding. Tony was my boss when I worked at CrossFit. He's the guy that hired me there. And he left CrossFit to go start the Grid League and actually asked me to come along with him. I declined that offer, but watched from a distance and had never had the opportunity to be able to go to a match. And so when I now flash forward 10 years later, when I found out it was going to be here at the Olympia and we were going to be here with our friends over at Rain, we said, hey, we definitely want to come check it out and see what it's about, because what we see online are these kind of viral, almost circus-like acts that you're seeing in terms of what these athletes are capable of doing on the rings. Like, you don't see that in any other fitness competition, so to speak. So we thought it would be interesting to come check out and see what it's like, because I've never seen it.
Absolutely. So that would be the NPGL, and now we're the UGL, so
Yeah,
it's a little
correct.
bit differently. And we're mostly based out of Florida. So having seen it online versus now in person, this being your first time to see it, what's the difference? What's the draw first time that you see it?
Well, I've always felt like team events for fitness have always kind of let me down in terms of like the energy. Like, I want to see the best with the barbell, and I don't want to see that person try to run. You know, like, I want to see them do their thing and what they're best at and combine the best group of ultimate human beings. And that's kind of what you get to see here in a way, which is I get to see people who are freaks with the barbell, but maybe not the best on the rings. But I don't want to see the combination of what's for a team element. I want to see the best combination of people and work together as a team. And that's been really exciting to see. The pace is very fast. The match is over in like an hour 45, which is fast. So it's very easily digestible for a fan. I'm still learning. So like, as I'm watching the snatch event this morning when I walked in, I want to say I did very little research in terms of what the matches were going to be or what the races are. I didn't know what a ringer was. So I'm learning as I'm going, trying to experience it like somebody for their very first time, because I want to be able to tell it to my audience in a way that they can understand it if they just click on and don't really have a background as to what's happening on the field of play here.
Absolutely. I think that's a great way to describe it, just people doing what they do best here on the grid, and I think that's what makes it super exciting, because once again, you don't want to see a big dude run if that's not what they're the best at. You know, you want to see everybody.
Not that we don't want big people running.
No. We want everybody running. We want them doing whatever they got to do. But that being said, that being the specialty conversation, if you were to play Grid League right now, what do you think your specialty would be?
I don't think I don't know that I would draft me to a field.
I think everybody wants you to play for them.
I would say maybe, see, all the ring stuff, I'd probably lose a shoulder. I would have to see some of the events that like maybe I could do well, but like all the barbell weights are too heavy for something that I like feel comfortable that I would be fast in. So
maybe like the dumbbell kettlebell stuff?
Yeah, maybe the dumbbell kettlebell stuff. And like if it was like scaled to me versus my peers, like yes, I could probably do some of this stuff and have fun with it.
You should definitely try out one of the Grid 6 matches that we're doing in Fort Lauderdale. I'm sure they'll love to have you on a team. It's basically like scaled grid.
Okay, yeah,
so
I'm down with that.
That'll be
I scale
fun.
for life, yeah. I let the elites do what the elites do, and then I have fun with my fitness at my level.
If you were to look at a team just based on the colors, I think you've seen all the teams play today. What was your favorite colored team?
Well, I'm here in our Buttery Bros jerseys right now.
Oh, Miami Vice colors.
I think it was the Palm Beach Breakers.
The South Beach Palms?
Yeah, South Beach
Riley
Palms.
Hansen's
Yeah, Hansen's team, Coach Hansen's team.
Yeah.
I think they matched my energy today, so in terms of like fashion.
He came ready to play,
Yeah.
just in case anybody was wondering and wanted to sign him.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for a contract, but hopefully it'll come through.
That was awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the match.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and look forward to the next race.
Consists of 2 rows of 4 stations of a strength-based element, 1 row for males and 1 row for females. The weight increases as you move down the grid. Teams send out 1 player at a time, alternating male and female, to perform the designated lift for the match format. Each successful lift has a point value that is added to the team's ladder score. The point value is equal to the quadrant the barbell is sitting in. Players are allowed 1 lift attempt per quadrant and may skip any quadrant they choose, but are never allowed to backtrack once a barbell is passed. The team with the highest total point value at the end of the 4-minute time cap wins. This race is one of the most strategic and coach-reliant of all of the races. As a good game plan and in-the-moment decision-making, to manage time is everything. Remember, lift heavier and score higher in the ladder race.
Yo, this girl who we're going against, Jess, I just have to finish in the 20% rule.
Yeah.
That's it. So
I'm not nervous when all these guys are out there.
I have all the confidence in the world. If you guys just look at the lineup, your jobs are there. do them and we win. Like we're honestly going to greatly fuck starts and faces. Little cliche, but I'd like to just get a family on 3.
Come on, let's go.
All right, here we go. We got
The triad. This is our final race of the evening. Where's my chance for the Gainesville Wild?
Okay, bonus flag is thrown. We are going to get 4 points on this. We are going to have perfect rest because you guys are fucking amazing.
Infamous 9-inch ring. The player's going to have to beat.
We're going to blow out the fucking engine all the way through. Okay?
We have good reps. We win every fucking race.
We win this.
Let's go.
Come on.
Right here.
Let's go, John. Let's get it. Bring it in. Bring it in. Last run. Don't be a bitch on 3. 1, 2, 3. Don't be a bitch.
Stand by.
Take care of my finances?
I got plenty of time for that.
I didn't have plenty of time.
Procrastinating on your finances has a way of stacking up. A membership with Facet is a quick and easy first step to get your finances in order.
I'll get to that tomorrow.
Now is the time to take action. Go to Facet.com to get started on your financial wellness journey today.
Watching Grid in person is a totally different experience. We get the comment all the time that it's the best sporting experience they've ever been to. So a lot of different people come to watch Grid and a lot of people enjoy Grid. I've used a lot of different types of ticketing platforms. People who come to our website to purchase tickets don't have to use a different link. They aren't taken off of our website. It all feels very seamless, and we hardly ever have lines because it's just a quick pull the ticket up on your phone. Our staff can scan it. It saves all the data that we need, and it's a really quick and easy check-in process, which was really, really important to us. We've been using Ticket Tailor for at least 5 years, and I don't think we're ever going to switch.
Welcome back, party people. We're getting ready to start that ladder. Palm Beach Breakers versus the Atlanta Wild. They're going to be coming down the grid, completing one barbell at a time. Whatever barbell they're in, quadrant they're in, that's the amount of points that it's worth. So if they start in quadrant 2 would be worth 2 points, 3 would be worth 3 points, 4 would be worth 4 points, and 1 would be, of course, 1 point. So whatever quadrant they are in, this is Shane Newell from the Palm Beach Breakers. This is her rookie season. Let's see if she can make that hang. Ooh, and that's a really pretty hang from her. That was 140 pounds. She's making her way to 155 pounds. Meanwhile, that is Patrick over there for the Atlantic Wild. That's 235 pounds. Very easy for him. Sydney Wilson coming out. Oh, good job, Shane Newell clearing that snatch ladder. Sorry, Sydney Wilson for the Atlanta Wild coming out, making light of these. She said she doesn't miss ladders earlier. I hope I'm gonna knock on wood for her, because I hope that doesn't happen to her. She never misses a ladder. All right, this is our new sign, Dakota Shackleton. All right, this is his very first grid match. They signed him because they were missing some players. Sydney Wilson, of course, clearing that ladder. Let's see if Dakota, rookie, if he can clear that ladder. Blake Kidder, let's see how fast he goes. He is absolutely monstrous on those. Was he able to make that for the Breakers?
No, he didn't get it. He didn't get it. He had to let it go.
Oh, man. All right. He probably missed it behind him. That's Ari Swan for the Breakers. This is her very second match. Blake Kidder finishing off that third quadrant. He's going for the fourth. Can he do it? Ari Swan finishing off that second one. And that's the first snatch for Kidder. Hang. And it's good.
Nice.
Very decent. All right, 235 pounds for Kidder on that last one. For Ari Swan, that was 140 pounds. She's going to make it all the way to the finish line, letting in Joshua Newell. All right, we already saw Shay earlier clear that ladder. This is her husband. Hopefully he can make it through as well. Carrie Billington, she's actually more of a body weight specialist. She's finishing off that second bar. She's making her way over to the finish line, letting Griffin Raleigh come in and do that barbell. Ooh, he's fast with it.
Absolutely. And if you didn't know, the weight gets heavier as you go down the quadrant, and it's worth more points. So you may occasionally see certain athletes skip over the early quadrants to go straight to the heavyweight to get those points.
Oh, Joshua Newell with the muscle snatch. Nasty. Wow. Very nice. Griffin Raleigh, very good fourth quadrant finish for him as well. Vita Vetterkind, I love to watch her for the Palm Beach Breakers. Just look at her go down the grid. She's really good at snatching. She's very technical, very strong. It's ridiculous how light she makes everything look. Amanda Fisher, too, for that matter, over there on the wild side.
There's some strong ladies in Grid League, I got to tell you. And they make it look so easy. Even the ladies are just throwing human bodies up over their head. That's the type of weight that they're playing with out here. So I love it.
Absolutely. That's a good lift for Amanda on that fourth quadrant. Unfortunately, Vita Vetterkind did fault out on that fourth quadrant, which doesn't usually happen for her. Very unexpected. But this is Evan Newman for the Palm Beach Breakers. He doesn't have a name on his jersey. Meanwhile, that's Mick Keller, if I'm not mistaken, for the Atlanta Wild. He's actually an Olympic weightlifter, very strong one at that. So just watching him snatch is so fun. Let's watch him hit that hang. Ooh. Nasty the way he gets to the bottom so fast. Evan Newman on that fourth. Ooh.
Wow. He powered through that one.
I like it. I like it. Sophia Davenport over here for the Palm Beach Breakers, lightweight for that first bar. Here comes Tom Soroka. He's skipping straight to that second bar for it. Sophia Davenport making lightweight of that second bar. Tom Soroka on that second bar.
And as much as this is about strength, this is about technique and strategy, because you don't want your legs too wide or your arms too wide. It has to be locked out. You don't want to throw out a rotator cuff or tear some cartilage or something, you know. So stay safe and be strong.
Very good point. The ladder is always fun to watch to see how exactly it shakes out, what teams try to utilize what necessarily. So maybe they decide to skip the first bar and go straight to the second because it's worth more and try to send more players through. We saw the time clock go off, so not every single player was able to actually go through and complete and get those points that they wanted to. So it's going as fast as you can through the bars, being strategic, sending the players that you know can hit those heavy bars. It's always fun to see how they do it. So in just a second, we're going to be visiting our friend Byram Allen with our friend Tom Soroka from the Atlanta Wild. Let's go ahead and take it over to Byram.
All right, folks, we are here with Tom, leader of the Atlanta Wild. You guys have come out strong today, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a well-oiled machine. Talk to us about the performance of your team today.
Well, given like the circumstances with the hurricane and everything like that, our thoughts go out to everybody affected by that. But when they announced that we were going to be one of the primary matches and the points differential was going to matter really big for us, especially going into the playoffs, we kind of created a game plan tailored towards executing it and taking advantage of that. And so far, things have been going exactly the way we wanted them to.
Now, I want to ask about you. You have been known to be a strength specialist, but the word out here is that you have been turning up, you have been evolving your whole aspect of performing out here.
Yeah.
Talk to you about how you've been doing that.
Biggest thing is just I started out with grid with MPGL, kind of lost a little bit of my mobility and my flexibility doing strongman and stuff, so I pretty much have spent the whole year just working on my conditioning, my mobility more than my overall strength, and it's starting to pay off here because I'm able to get through things a lot quicker in terms of moving fast for things like mirrors and the ladders.
Why do you keep coming back to Grid League? You can go anywhere else in the world. Why you keep coming back?
I feel like it's one of the only team sports where the individual matters just as much as the team. And this group in particular, everybody's got the same mindset, everybody has the same goal, and it's really fun when you're on a team that just wants to win.
Tom, I thank you for your time. Good job, brother. We'll be right back.
It really helps me keep the intensity going.
Oh, and it looks like I almost said Gainesville. It looks like the Atlanta Wild are actually going to take that ladder.
Great win by them. You know, like Thomas said. Wait, we're waiting. Oh, they're well-oiled machine right now. They have a plan and a strategy, and they are displaying it today.
Absolutely. Once again, friends, we're getting into the extra fun stuff. Everything is fun stuff here on Grid, but we're getting into the extra fun stuff. We're going back into those 2 ringers. All right, back to back. We're starting off with a ground to overhead. For the Atlanta Wild, that's going to be Sydney Wilson. For the Palm Beach Breakers, that's going to be Vida Vetterkind.
Now, I'm very interested. Like we always say, the ringer race is one of the more spectacular and fun races. So I'm excited to see what these 2 athletes do out here at the Grid.
I really am too. It's going to be 15 ground to overhead. It's going to be interesting.
Brent.
And they're off. It's a sprint to see who gets the barbell first.
Breakers are there.
At the very same time. Both of them are snatching at the exact same time. As I said, they're both very short. Oh, it looks like Sydney Wilson's able to kind of get her head through a little bit faster here. This is insane. Hand up for the Breakers.
Throw that heavyweight up.
2 reps left. 2 reps left for both.
Look at the Breakers. They look. Oh my God.
Sydney
Are you
Wilson
kidding me?
is going
look
to
at this
take
stroll up.
it for the Atlanta
Look at that stroll.
Wild.
Look at that walk. Look at that walk. She knows what she did.
Goodness.
Wow. They both went at it right there. That was amazing.
That was absolutely insane. Vida Vetterkind looking a little bit defeated for the Breakers. Let's not forget that she did the brunt of the work for the Echo. You know, she did a lot of that work. You know, the Breakers don't have all of the strength players that they're used to having. She's had to pick up a lot of the slack. So it's just, you know,
look at that. I love
the extra work that she's had to do. There goes Sydney and Vida on the grid.
Yeah, showing us some love.
Showing that love. I love that. A big community that we have here. I'm sure Vida's feeling a little bit beat up after that. But the Wild have just proven just a little bit more superior here today, looking at the 2 teams.
Sorry, Cassie. And that's why depth is so important in a sport like this, because you want to be able to leverage that, know what certain athletes can do. Like you said, she's just been burning herself out at the Echo, so it may have caught up to her a little bit there at the end of the ringer point.
Oh, absolutely. It definitely was really fun to watch out of the gate, just how fast they were able to like turn over and do it at the same time. Because once again, they're very short. So like the distance that it takes to get from the ground to over their head is just so cool.
Yeah, big old legs getting that weight up.
Oh,
you know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
they're very strong ladies.
Absolutely.
Very fun to watch. Kudos to both of them. We're going into that next ringer. We're looking at the deficit handstand push-ups. That's going to be Jonathan Restrepo for the Palm Beach Breakers. And for the Atlanta Wild, it's going to be Tyler Billington. All right, so male versus male. That's going to be 10-inch deficit handstand push-up. It's all shoulders, Byram.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy with that deficit. We've spoken about it in previous matches. You want to make sure you have somebody that's lower to the ground, preferably, not as long arms, because, you know, hey, geometry and trigonometry and all that other good stuff.
That's right. Do the math.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you look, have you ever tried the deficit handstand push-ups?
Absolutely not. You know what? I don't even have regular handstands. You know, something about the equilibrium. I keep thinking I'm falling into the ocean or something. I got to work on it. I don't know.
I feel, so grid, I watched grid before I watched CrossFit or anything else like that. So the first time that I saw the handstand push-ups, I kind of put myself on my head and I tried to do it, and I just didn't move anywhere. I was just laying there and I was like, I did not move off the ground at all. But it was definitely fun to try, I'll say that much.
That's why I respect all of these athletes that do these extreme exercises. They make it look so easy, but not only are they exceptional athletes, but they put in the work. So you don't just walk out the grid league and do a handstand deficit, handstand push-up. It doesn't work like that. You got to work at it.
Absolutely. And just in case you're wondering, or you're trying to join a Grid 6 team, which is basically the scaled version of the United Grid League, you should definitely try to visit us on the website to get more information about that. There are teams that are still looking to play in the Fort Lauderdale area in November, so you could definitely find a spot on a team, see if this is something that you want to do, and just do it at your own pace.
It's exciting, and it's something for everybody. If you're a bodyweight specialist, we got something for you. If you're a strength specialist, we got something for you. If you're a hybrid utility player, oh yeah, we can use you at Grid League. It's a fun time. Come on down, baby.
100%. It's going to be fun to see how this one shakes out, the 10 deficit handstand push-ups. Once again, that's going to be Jonathan Restrepo and Tyler Billington. They're going to be starting in just a few seconds. Looked like there was a little bit of discrepancy when they were looking into who finished that last ringer point, but it looks like they're going to keep it with the Atlanta Wild.
All right, sounds good. Now, the Atlanta Wild, they don't need any more favors, but they are very much ahead right now. We're looking to see if the Breakers can catch up the pace a little bit and stack a few more points.
Absolutely. Just in case you're just joining us, just to reiterate, this point is worth double the amount of points at the end. So whatever the difference is in points, if let's say the Atlanta Wild is winning by 5 points, at the end of the match, they would actually get 10 points towards their differential. As it stands right now, the Palm Beach Breakers have -9 during the point differential, while the Atlanta Wild have +8, sitting in, I believe, 3rd place, the Breakers being 2nd to last. So definitely the Breakers are pretty hungry, trying to close that gap, knowing that there are other teams have yet to play this pivotal matchup here.
And if you're so hungry, what do we say, Cassie?
You gotta eat your breakfast.
Absolutely, and finish that too. Let's go.
I like it. All right, 10-inch deficit handstand push-ups. Jonathan Restrepo versus Tyler Billington. Let's check it out. We got that updated score on the screen for you. Looks like the Atlanta Wild are leading by 8 points. Ooh, very fast for both people.
Absolutely.
I would say Jonathan's maybe just a half
Just
rep
a stitch.
ahead.
Just a stitch. You can see it, and there he's off.
Oh, with the sprint. Oh, no.
Wow.
Tyler Billington with the fault. The Palm Beach Breakers are going to take it. They really needed that one.
Yeah, they're a little disappointed right there. They wanted that, but the Breakers came out strong. Yeah, what a match right there. What a match.
I would say they definitely needed that win,
Absolutely.
you know, for that camaraderie, just to boost morale a little bit going into that last few races here. But that was so much fun to watch. A little bit of a fault for Tyler Billington. They're going to tabulate the times to see if Tyler Billington finished within 20% of Jonathan to see if they get the credit, because once again, during a ringer point, if you don't finish within 20% of the time, you unfortunately do not receive credit.
And you can see how fast a ringer point can go depending on what they choose. It was less than maybe 20 to 30 seconds that particular race, so it's very exciting. You can see how Gridley gives it up when it comes to extreme sports.
Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and see those bodyweight specialists versus bodyweight specialists. Let's look ahead into that Jack and Jill.
Jack and Jill features 3 stations of high-level bodyweight-based elements that increase in difficulty moving down the grid. 1 male and 1 female are allowed on the grid at any given time, and only 1 player can be working at a time. The team can only move on to the next station when the previous station is complete. This race is the simplest when it comes to rules, but the most reliant on player skill and speed, as the hyper specialists often make the difference in the race. Remember, let the bodyweight ninjas fly in the Jack and Jill race.
You're more energized, you're more relaxed, you're more ready to hit a hard workout. For me, recovery happens at night when you cleanse your body and you get ready for bed and you get ready for the next day. So it helps me get into that state of calmness. So I feel less fatigued, I feel relaxed, I feel less inflammation when I wake up in the morning. So your recovery's here, but then you take early bird and your recovery goes to here. So it just elevates the recovery. It helps you then perform better the next day. So you need it. It's almost a necessity. It's part of my routine. It's part of my nightly routine. It helps people. It really helps people. Early bird all the way.
My pain level before lubricine was like 9 to 10. And after lubricine, I'm like 2 to 3. I saw it first at the CrossFit competition and it definitely caught my eye, but I wasn't experiencing any pain at that moment. Then I started feeling pain on my elbow here on the inside part, and the league offered us to try the product and see how it felt, and I've been feeling great since.
All right, welcome back, folks, to Grid League at the 60th Mr. Olympia here in Las Vegas. We're going to get the actual facts about the Jack and Jill because they went up a hill, of course. Ring forward rolls. We're going to do 15 of those. Deck to pull over. We're going to do 10 of those. And we have 5 deck to back the all body weight exercises. So we are excited how the Atlanta Wild and the Breakers performed today at the Jack and Jill.
Absolutely. In case you were wondering about those last ringer points, the Breakers did get credit for the ground to overhead, and the Wild unfortunately did not receive credit for the deficit handstand push-up, receiving 0.
Stand by.
All right, it's the battle of the body weight over here on the Grid League right now. This is Reese Lyons and Bethany Jackson for the Palm Beach Breakers, and that's RJ Hibbert and Amanda Fisher for the Atlanta Wild.
Yes, they're both using great technique. They cannot use momentum to kick and get that roll, as we saw in the pre-meeting with the refs. It has to be clean. Oh, and we see the Breakers there struggling a little bit. It is a hard task to handle, but it's very specific.
Absolutely. It's really important that you just send your chest over and really control those triceps on the way over as well, especially because they are such long straps being so close to the ground, so it's a little bit harder. Amanda Fisher over here taking over for RJ Hibbert. Hands up in the air for both teams. I would call the Atlanta Wild maybe just a rep or 2 ahead here.
Are they perhaps a bit? Are they ahead a little bit?
Yeah, it looks like Bethany Jackson just faulted out here. And we're going over to those deck to pullovers. It's RJ Hibbert already on that bar, being joined by Yana Babbitt right now. Jonathan Restrepo waiting for Bethany Jackson to finish off that last rep. And there she goes. She's going to be tagging out for Sophia Davenport. Meanwhile, the Wild have a comfortable lead here on this Jack and Jill.
Oh, yeah, the Wild look great. They've been looking great the whole time. And seeing that big guy get over that bar, just amazing. I love seeing it. I love body weight. And we're going to see how well they finish out the match.
Yeah, it looks like they're faulting out Restrepo. It looks like he doesn't have enough momentum to be meeting the standard for those pullovers. Sophia Davenport taking over now. Yana Babbitt finishing off that last rep. And there they go into those deck-to-back flips. We're looking at Tyler Billington, who just did that ringer point. They have him doing a lot of the body weight stuff today. Yana Babbitt waiting with him to go into the finish line. Jonathan Restrepo trying to finish off the last ones. And the Atlanta Wild are going to comfortably win this Jack and Jill race. 3 reps remaining for the Palm Beach Breakers. Bethany Jackson waiting on that deck to do those backflips for her partner. 1 rep remaining for the Breakers. They switched out for Reese Lyons. Atlanta Wild kind of chilling over there. A little bit of an easy win for them. 15 seconds left here. They're waterfalling these deck to backflips. We haven't seen that happen today. Last rep, and they are off to the finish. They are going to get credit for this race, even though they did not necessarily win it. They did finish within the time cap, so they will get 1 point. Unofficially, we're looking at a score of 10 for the Breakers and 17 for the Atlanta Wild.
Yeah, you want to stack as many points as you can. There's no give up at Grid League, so these teams are not going to stop just because the other team wins the actual race. They're going to keep going and just try to get as many points as possible.
Absolutely. We're looking ahead into that next race, our very last one of the day of this specific matchup. Let's look into that sprint relay.
Is the final race of every match and is worth an extra point for the race win. It is a relay race with 1 player allowed on the grid at a time and 8 elements to perform. Any player can perform on any element, and substitutions can happen at any time, except when a player performs the last rep of an element. In that case, the player must run back to the start line, perform a 4-point touch behind the start line, and sprint through to the finish line, permanently leaving the race. The next player may enter once the previous one has crossed the finish line. The only exception is the distance element that ends at the finish line with no sprint back required. The catch is, 4 men and 4 women must finish the 8 elements. The sprint relay is a great balance of strategy to decide which players in what order are the best combination, along with clean and well-executed elements by the players, to lead to the best race outcome for the team. Remember, 4 men and 4 women must finish the 8 elements in the sprint relay.
Yeah, baby!
excited. This is going to be fun. I like stuff like this. Being able to coach and get people into it and have them have their first grid experience, it's going to be a good time.
Nervous, excited, never done this.
Really nervous, but it's gonna be fun. Wish me luck.
Kill it.
1, 2, 3, Junior!
That was the spark we needed. It's electric in the air, baby.
Now we can do the mini grid.
Was amazing. The race was so funny.
All comes down to this, Mike. Let's go.
I think we're going to be all right. And once we win this one, we win the whole thing.
No, back away.
That's sportsmanship over here.
Fuck you! Pretty much gonna do the whole thing, and then I'm gonna run across and win. Mike, what'd you do? Come on. What happened? I'm just kidding, Mike. I love you.
6 a.m. 6 a.m. Forever the best. She beat me. Champ.
Welcome back, party people. We're getting ready for that sprint relay. That first one is going to be a 150-pound heavy D-ball over a 45-inch yoke, followed by a short rope climb, 8 feet to 15 feet, toes to ring into a backup rise, 150-pound D-ball carry, followed by deck to pistol over 6-inch pole, 53-pound kettlebell squat snatch, 200-pound snatches, followed by 200-pound clean and jerks. We're about 12 seconds out from the final race during this matchup, the Atlanta Wild versus the Palm Beach Breakers. Let's see it.
Oh, we're off now. So here we got the Palm Beach Breakers and the Atlanta Wild getting it up with that particular D-ball over yoke. That's 150 pounds over 45 inches now. That reminds you of the old strongman competitions with the Atlas Stone. Just a little bit different element here. And we're going to see the women and the men put it on at the Grid League.
That's right, Byram. Just tell them what we just found out.
And we also found out that usually, this is worth 3 points. Now it's going to be worth 4 points. So it's some extra incentive for both teams to win today.
That's right. The Atlanta Wild did throw that bonus flag. All right, so this one is worth a little bit more points than usual. All right, worth 4 points. Once again, every point matters here at the end. It will be doubled and added to their point differential. Right now, the Atlanta Wild are leading by 7 points, so you want to consider that 14 points. So if the Atlanta Wild could pull off a bigger win here, that's going to be devastating to the Palm Beach Breakers, but amazing for the Atlanta Wild. This is Reese Lyons on those reins, making a joke out of him. Tyler Billington finishing off those last few. Reese Lyons, absolute powerhouse. I would probably call him one of their best players for the Breakers. This is Joshua Newell. He is a rookie, he and his wife this season, and he is going to pass it to Vita Vetterkind. She's going to take it all the way home to that finish line. Once again, you have to go to that second quadrant finish, go back to the start line, and then go to the finish, just like Blake Kidder is doing for the Atlanta Wild, and he is passing it to Yana Babbitt. This is Bethany Jackson position on those deck to pistol over stick. That is, I believe, 6 inches
Yep,
here.
6 inches. And also, as you can see, they are really going at it, and you got to start from the ground. There's no planking. You know, they're really paying attention to technique, and you want to make sure that you don't fall. So you make sure you get that good, I guess you were going to say, foundation under yourself so you can get off the ground properly.
Man, so the Wild threw this bonus flag, but the Breakers have done an amazing job making up a lot of time here and getting ahead. Sophia Davenport already on those kettlebell squat snatches. Carrie Billington running to the finish line so that David McKellar can start those kettlebell snatches. I don't know. It looks like the Breakers are pretty comfortable here. Reese Lyons was able to make up some serious speed on those rings.
And I'm just looking at her throw that 53-pound kettlebell over her head and squatting down ass to grass. That's something to see, baby. And I'm telling you, if you want to add this to your repertoire back home, feel free, but start at about 10 pounds. 53 is a little heavy.
That's right, Sophia Davenport running to the finish. 2 reps remaining for David McKellar for the Atlanta Wild. And we're looking at Evan Newman hitting those 200-pound snatches. There's the first one, touch and go. Here is number 2. Oh, sorry, there's 6 of them. I'm a liar. All right, he's gonna finish off those last 3 reps, but he has decent headway here against Griffin Raleigh. But look at that speed that Raleigh moves at. It's basically a muscle snatch. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Oh my gosh, this is throwing up that snatch. 200 pounds for everybody. So the weight is all relative. You just got to get there and get it up.
That's right, Evan Newman coming out, and Joshua Newell finishing off those 2 clean and jerks. Can he finish ahead of the Wild?
There we go.
He's gonna go back. He's gonna sprint. Amanda Fisher finishing off her last rep, and it looks like they Palm Beach Breakers are stealing the bonus flag.
He was high stepping like Deion Sanders out there. You saw that at the end.
That was absolutely amazing. Palm Beach was able to take away those extra points from the Wild. I know they're definitely really happy about that. That would have been a devastating loss for the Breakers.
That's the second time that happened today, I think, where the bonus flag has been broken.
Absolutely.
So I think so.
Well, the first time it was taken, but then they rerun the echo.
There it was. That's what happened. 3 times.
More like a million times.
There you go.
That was an absolutely amazing race. Very fun to watch. The Palm Beach Breakers, very comfortable lead there. Stole that bonus flag, closed that differential gap. I know they're happy about that. The point difference would have been crushing for the Breakers.
Astronomical. They couldn't have gotten over it.
Yeah.
They have to show up then, and they did.
So they're still a contender, possibly, for the playoffs. It just matters to see how else everything else goes, you know? We won't know for sure until November in Fort Lauderdale. We do have 3 more matches coming up tomorrow, so it's going to be an absolute blast to see how it shakes out. The other teams will basically be decided, except for the super team, the Fort Orlampa Lesa Gates. So we'll find out how everything went, but these teams did amazing today. Once again, we are at the Mr. Olympia 60th anniversary in Las Vegas, Nevada, our very first out-of-state competition. We're very blessed to be here with all of our grid family and the skeleton crew that we do have. To everybody back at home who's a supporter, who wasn't able to make it today, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting from wherever you are. I hope you're okay. I hope you're able to recover. Once again, I'm Cassie Martinez.
And I'm Byram Allen.
And we will see you tomorrow.
Absolutely. Peace.